What's poppin', YouTube family? It's your girl SHOtheOT, your fave occupational therapist, here to help you and others live their best lives. Let's get started.
Bye.
Hey, y'all. As you read by that title, today we are talking about the pros and cons of pediatric OT. What is Peds OT all about? Let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna start on a good note. Okay, we're gonna talk about the pros because obviously there's a reason why we have pediatric OTs. It can't be all that bad. There has to be some pros, okay? So let's get into these pros, okay? Number one, fun. It's fun working with kids. Now, you adults people might disagree, but literally all you do all day is play. Like, that's what you do because play is children's occupation. Like, they don't go to work. They don't go to the grocery store. They don't do all that other stuff. They play and they go to school. So, and they do other stuff, but that's what you do. You play all day. You make everything fun. People who like kids tend to be more fun. And yeah, so your coworkers are gonna be funner. They're gonna have brighter, outgoing personalities. Like, you're just gonna have fun at work, okay? When you're a Peds OT, you're gonna have fun. If you're not having fun at work and you're a pediatric occupational therapist, you're doing something wrong. All right, next pro. One of my favorite things about being a pediatric OT is that I literally become a part of all my clients' families. Like, I am a little extra addition to everyone's family. Like, I get birthday pics, I get personal pics the first time they sat on the potty and actually went to the bathroom. I just get all life updates, okay? Like, that is just one of my favorite things about being a pediatric OT. Like, I'm not a mom. I want to be one day, but I'm not one right now. But I feel like all of these kids are just like my little babies, and I get all of their life updates, and it's just really cool. So one pro is you just get to be a part of everybody's family, and I think that's pretty cool. All right, next pro. Another cool thing about being a pediatric occupational therapist is that you get to see long-term progress. Because you're molding these little people's lives, you get to see them when they're super tiny, and you get to see them grow into elementary school, middle school, high school. Like, you get to see all of that, because even if they get discharged and they graduate from therapy, like, their parents are still gonna feel so close to you. Like I just said in the last pro, they feel like you're a part of their family. So you still get to see their updates. You still get to see their progress. Like, you still get to be a part of their lives, which I think is really cool. You get to see where they started when you first started therapy. Like, I have a kid who I just said the other day, I have a kid who I remember I literally just started seeing him maybe like 6-7 months ago, and he literally would scream bloody murder every time I put him in a swing. I mean, every single time, because he had so much gravitational insecurity. And then just the other day, he was literally dragging me to put him in the swing. Like, he was like, this is what my body needs, put me in the swing right now, Miss Show. And I was like, okay, let's swing. So seeing the progress that they make is literally so rewarding. It's not just a quick fix. Like, you get to literally work day in and day out with them and just see all the progress that they get to make. And to me, that is super rewarding. So if you're interested in long-term success and progress, Peds OT might be for you. Okay, next pro. Okay, this pro depends on your setting. So I think I'm thinking more in the school setting, you get a more flexible work schedule, okay? So those kids don't got school, you don't got work. And I think that's pretty cool. That's like one of the biggest things about school OT. I'm like, listen, school OT might be where it's at, okay? Outpatient peds, not that flexible. I mean, it's still flexible. Like, you're not working weekends. So there's a plus. You're not working in the hospital, so there's no weekends. You work reasonable hours. There's a lot of outpatient pediatric clinics that are only open 4 days a week. That's how my job is. So 3-day weekends, that sounds great to me. So yeah, I think flexible work schedule is a pretty cool pro of being a pediatric OT. All right, last pro. Baby, these kids gonna keep you active. You're not sitting around, okay? If you're working with kids, you're running, you're moving, you're lifting, you're throwing, you're jumping, you're doing all the movement, okay? So you're gonna stay active, okay? And as I get older, your girl is 27, I'm realizing how important it is to keep moving and keep moving your body. So these kids gonna keep you active. So if you wanna stay in good shape and in good fits, okay, be a pediatric OT, because there's never a dull moment and you will always be on the move. All right, now every job has its cons, okay? And so let's get into the cons of being a pediatric OT. The first con that comes to everybody's brain when working with kids: managing behaviors. You are gonna have to manage behaviors. Kids are kids, they're gonna be kids. And you have to have those tools and those resources and just those strategies to figure out how to motivate them and how to, de-escalate whenever they're having a tantrum, okay? It's gonna happen. So if you feel like you don't got that skill or that capability or the willingness to learn that skill or capability, Peds OT is not for you. And that's okay. Peds OT is not for everybody. We are a select group of folks that can handle this. All right, on to the next con. Okay, lack of carryover in the home. So when you're working with adults, they have there's already that intrinsic motivation to get better or to improve whatever skill you're working on with them, because they are the client. They're like, okay, this is what I have to do to get better and to get back to independence and get to what I need to do. They're already intrinsically motivated. Children, they don't know what the heck is going on or what you're doing. So their parent is the one that has to, carry over at home. So if they're not doing it, your kid's not doing nothing at home. And that's hard. That's very frustrating sometimes. You just pour it all. You pour your heart out into these children, and then their parents could care less. Some of them, not all of them, some of them could care less, and that's frustrating to see that all your hard work is not being carried over into the home. So yeah, that can be frustrating, but you do what you can with what you got. All right, next con. Just like I said, a pro is that you become a part of these families' lives and you become like an extra part of their family. You start to get very emotionally invested, and their tragedies, their things that happen in their life, they start to affect you too. Like, for example, I have a kid whose younger brother is in the hospital, and that evokes emotion out of me. Like, it feels like a part of my family is in the hospital, just because I care so much about that kid, and I know their family, and I know the parent, and I know the toll that must be taken on them. And one thing you're gonna notice about pediatric OTs is that you just have a big heart. You have a big heart. You want to help everybody. You want to do anything you can to help people. And that kind of stuff really gets to you. I don't know about everybody, but to me it does. So when I hear tragedies, when I hear things are like rough for a family, I get very emotionally invested, and that kind of can take a toll on you. So you do have to find best practices for your own self-care so you don't get emotionally burnt out or fatigued. So yeah, that part kind of sucks. All right, on to the next con. Okay, this is probably the biggest con for everybody. Peds probably gets paid the least, okay? Yeah, compared to acute care, yeah, you're not getting paid that much, sis, or brethren. Whichever one. You ain't getting paid that much in peds compared to other settings. So that is a con. We need that money, that shmoney, honey, okay? You ain't getting paid nothing now, okay? You're getting compensated pretty well, especially depending on where you live. I can make a video about that, actually. If you want a video about that, comment down below about like the different pay the pay difference between different settings, we could do that. We can chat about that. But yeah, you're not getting paid as much as the other settings. You're on the lower end when you're working in peds. Yeah, you got to find you a pretty generous clinic to get like paid very decently. And in schools, you really ain't getting paid that much. Well, nowadays you probably are, because nobody's working in the schools, so they need people, so they're probably paying you a lot. So it depends, honestly. But for the most part, pediatric OTs are paid lower than other settings. All right, on to the last con. Okay, I think this is the con that no one talks about enough. Pediatric OTs have so many extra duties outside of treatment and evaluations. Like, there's documentation. I mean, all settings have the documentation aspect of it. There's home exercise programs. I feel like our home exercise programs have to be super detailed, just because, like I said, our client is not the one who you're educating. You can't educate the kids. Like, they're not going to understand it. So you're educating the parents. And I feel like that takes a whole other aspect to home exercise programs. So them HEPs got to be super detailed. And then also, we don't talk about how we have to talk to other disciplines or other people that work with these kids, like their teachers, if they're in ABA, if they're in psych or any like mental health situations, anybody that is a part of that kid's team. We need to be in contact with them and working with them and making sure that we're all on the same page so that the kid can thrive and be successful. And that takes a lot of time and effort. So on top of treating, evaluations, you got documentation, HEPs, emailing all the people, okay? So it's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot of extra work, but it's worth it. Don't forget those pros we talked about in the beginning. It's definitely worth it. If you love kids, if you love helping, and you think OT is something that you'd be interested in, don't count peds out, okay? Peds is a very rewarding and a very fun job to have. Like, I think my job is super fun. Like, I don't get up and dread going to work. If I do, it's not because of what I do, it's where I'm going. It's the job, it's the place that I work, not the job that I'm doing, if that makes sense. So you do have to have the heart for peds. It is not for everybody, and that's okay. Okay, if you know peds is not for you, baby, don't come here. Don't come play with these kids, because kids know when you don't want to be around them, okay, and they will call you out. Okay, so let's just save face and let's stay in our lanes. If you're for the adults, be with the adults. If you're for the kids, come with the kids, okay? I'm gonna stay with the kids because I don't know nothing about them adults. All right, y'all, that is all I have. Those are 5 pros, 5 cons. Let me know if you have some different pros and cons, or if you're an adult person and you happen to be on my channel, what's your pros and cons for working with adults? I would love to hear them. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Oh wait, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do that, please. Also share my videos, because we at 1,000 now. So now I'm like feeling motivated. Okay. So I'm just trying to level up. Hey. All right, I'm done. Bye.